My name is Megan. I am 26 years old, and my world changed completely 6 months ago. That was when my daughter Lily was born. She is the most beautiful baby girl I have ever seen. Honestly, sometimes I just sit and watch her sleep, and I can't believe she is real, that she is mine. She has big, curious blue eyes. They look just like mine, people say. And her hair is very soft, like tiny brown feathers. It's still quite short, but it catches the light sometimes. We live in a small apartment. It's not very big, just 2 rooms really, but it's our home. Sunlight comes through the window in the morning and makes patterns on the floor where Lily likes to play on her soft blanket. Our life is simple, but full. Most days are about Lily. We have a routine. In the morning, I feed her, change her diaper, and then we play. She loves the soft yellow duck I bought her. She holds it and makes happy little sounds. Sometimes she tries to put it in her mouth, and I laugh. Everything she does feels like a small miracle. After lunch, if the weather is nice, we go for a walk. We live in a quiet part of the city, and there's a small park nearby with green grass and big trees. I put Lily in her stroller, and we walk slowly. She looks around at everything with those wide blue eyes. I tell her about the trees, the birds, the clouds. I know she doesn't understand the words yet, but I like talking to her. It makes me feel less alone. When we come home, she usually takes a nap, and I have some time to clean the apartment, maybe read a little, or just rest. Holding her, feeding her, watching her grow. These things make me so incredibly happy. She is my sunshine, but I have a big secret. A heavy secret that I carry with me every single day. Lily's father does not know about her. He doesn't know she exists. His name is Alex. Alex and we were happy once. It feels like a long time ago now. We laughed a lot. We talked about the future, about maybe traveling together one day. He was kind and funny, but things changed between us. It wasn't one big fight. It was more like we just started moving in different directions. We wanted different things, I suppose. The phone calls became less frequent, the silences grew longer. We stopped talking completely around 7 months before Lily was born. It was a sad ending, quiet and unfinished. And the most important part, the part that twists my stomach into knots when I think about it, is that I didn't know I was pregnant until after we had already stopped speaking. So, Alex has no idea he has a daughter. A beautiful daughter with soft hair and my blue eyes. I love Lily more than words can say. She is my whole world. But sometimes, usually late at night when the apartment is quiet and she is sleeping peacefully in her little bed, the worry comes. It sits heavy on my chest. Keeping this secret is hard. It feels wrong sometimes. Is it fair to Lily? Will she ask about her father one day? What will I tell her? Is it fair to Alex? Does he have a right to know he has a child? I think about telling him. Many times I pick up my phone, my thumb hovering over his old contact number, which I never deleted. But then the fear stops me. What if he is angry? What if he doesn't believe me? What if he thinks I want something from him, like money? What if he doesn't want Lily? That thought hurts the most. I couldn't bear it if he rejected her. So, I put the phone down. Every time. It seems easier, safer, to keep the secret, to protect Lily and myself from that possible pain. Tonight, like most nights, I stand by her small bed. The moonlight makes her face look soft and peaceful. She makes a tiny sigh in her sleep. She looks so small, so perfect. My heart fills with love. So much love it almost hurts. But underneath the love, the fear and the uncertainty are always there. What should I do? Keeping this secret feels like building a wall, but telling the truth feels like jumping off a cliff without knowing what's below. What is the right thing to do for my little Lily? I just don't know. The days passed, turning into weeks, and then months. Lily grew bigger, learned to smile more, and even started making sounds that sounded almost like words. Each new thing she did filled my heart with joy, but the secret I kept felt like it was growing heavier too. It wasn't just a thought late at night anymore. It was a shadow that followed me during the day. Every time my phone rang with an unknown number, my heart would jump into my throat. Is it Alex? Did someone tell him? I knew it was unlikely. We didn't have many friends in common anymore, and I lived quietly. But the fear was always there. A small, constant buzz under the surface of my daily happiness with Lily. Sometimes, when Lily was sleeping soundly during the day, the silence in the apartment felt huge. In those quiet moments, the feeling of being alone with this secret was strong. I loved being Lily's mom, loved our little world, but I wished I had someone else to share the big things with. Not just the worries, but the joys too. Someone who had a right to know how amazing his daughter was. One sunny afternoon, my best friend Sarah came to visit. Sarah is wonderful. She has known me since we were teenagers, and she was the first person I told when I found out I was pregnant. She helped me so much, especially in those difficult early days. She never judged me. She just listened and offered help. She is the only person who knows about Alex being Lily's father. She arrived with a warm smile and a small gift for Lily, a colorful soft ball. Lily immediately loved it, grabbing it with her small hands. We sat on the floor, watching Lily play and drank coffee. Sarah looked at Lily, then at me. Her expression was kind, as always. "Megan," she started gently. "Lily is getting bigger now. She looks more like you every day, but I see something of Alex around her eyes too, you know." I nodded, looking down at my coffee cup. Just hearing his name made my stomach feel tight. "I know," I whispered. "Have you thought any more about Alex?" Sarah asked carefully. She never pushed, but sometimes she asked the questions I was trying to avoid in my own head. I sighed. "I think about it every day, Sarah. Every single day. But I just get so scared when I imagine telling him." My voice trembled a little. What if he gets angry? What if he shouts at me? What if he blames me? Or worse, what if he doesn't want Lily? What if he looks at her and feels nothing? That was my deepest fear. The thought of Alex rejecting his own daughter was unbearable. Sarah put her hand on my arm. "Oh, Megan, I understand why you're scared. It's a huge thing. He might be surprised, yes. Maybe even shocked at first. But maybe he will be happy, too? Maybe he'll be amazed. Lily is wonderful. How could anyone not love her?" Her words were meant to comfort me, and they did, a little. But the fear was still stronger. "Maybe," I said quietly. "But it's such a big risk." Later that week, I decided to take Lily to the park again. It was a beautiful autumn day, cool but sunny. The leaves on the trees were turning yellow and red. Lily was awake in her stroller, looking around with fascination. I felt relaxed, enjoying the fresh air and the simple pleasure of being outside with my daughter. We walked along the path near the small pond where ducks sometimes swam. Suddenly, my heart stopped. Further down the path, near the big oak tree, stood a man. He had his back to me, but his height, the way he stood, the dark color of his hair, it looked so much like Alex. My breath caught in my chest. My hands felt instantly cold and sweaty on the stroller handle. Is that him? What is he doing here? He hadn't seen me. He was looking at his phone. Without thinking, purely on instinct, I quickly turned the stroller around. I pushed it fast, almost running back the way we came. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I didn't stop until we were out of the park and halfway down the street towards our apartment building. Only then did I dare to look back. The path was empty. The man was gone. Maybe it wasn't even him. I leaned against a wall, trying to catch my breath. Lily looked up at me, her blue eyes wide, perhaps sensing my panic. I forced a smile for her, stroking her cheek. It's okay, sweetie. Mommy's okay. But I wasn't okay. The near miss, real or imagined, had shaken me badly. I felt cold all over. I realized I was trying to protect Lily, keep her safe in our little bubble. But protect her from what? From her own father? Suddenly, the secret didn't feel like a protective wall anymore. It felt like a cage, and the door had just rattled. Sarah's words came back to me. Maybe he will be happy too? The question echoed in my mind, louder than before. How long could I keep running? The incident in the park stayed with me. I couldn't shake the feeling that the walls I had built around my secret were starting to crumble. For days, I felt restless. I kept thinking about Alex, about Lily, about what the right thing to do was. My fear was still strong, but now there was a new feeling mixed with it. A sense of urgency, a feeling that I couldn't keep things as they were forever. One evening, after Lily was asleep, I sat on the sofa, feeling tired and thoughtful. I picked up my phone, not to call anyone, but just to look through old photos. It was something I did sometimes when I felt sad or confused. I scrolled back, past pictures of Lily as a newborn, past pictures of my pregnancy, and then further, back, to a time before Lily. I stopped at a photo of Alex and me. We were at a summer fair, both of us smiling widely, him with his arm around my shoulder. We looked so happy, so carefree. It felt like a lifetime ago. As I looked at the photo, Lily stirred in her carry cot beside the sofa. I had brought her in so I could keep an eye on her. She was starting to wake up a little. Her eyes fluttered open, and she made a small cooing sound. I leaned over and showed her the phone screen, just because she was looking at the light. "Look, Lily," I whispered, not really thinking. That was a friend." Her tiny hand reached out, and her fingers, so small and delicate, touched the screen right on Alex's smiling face. She patted it gently, as if she knew. My heart squeezed. It felt heavy, suddenly. Lily touched Alex's face on my phone. I thought, she does not know him. He does not know her. This is not right. The next day, Sarah called. She often checked in, knowing I was still struggling with my secret. "How are you doing, Megan?" she asked, her voice warm. I told her about the park, about the man I thought was Alex. Then I told her about Lily touching the photo. I explained the strange, heavy feeling it gave me. Sarah listened patiently. When I finished, she was quiet for a moment. Then she said, very gently, "Megan, maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's time. For you. For Lily. And maybe for Alex, too. Keeping secrets like this, it hurts everyone in the end, even if you're trying to protect people." Her words hit me. Keeping secrets hurts. She was right. I was trying to protect Lily from potential pain, and myself from Alex's possible anger or rejection. But in doing so, was I denying Lily a father? Was I denying Alex the chance to know his daughter? Was I hurting myself by carrying this heavy burden alone? Suddenly, something inside me shifted. It wasn't that the fear disappeared. It was still there, a cold knot in my stomach. But a new feeling started to grow, a feeling of determination. Sarah was right. This secret was too big. It was time to be brave. I had to be brave for Lily. She deserved to have a chance to know her father, and he deserved to know her. Whatever his reaction, at least the truth would be out. I couldn't control how Alex would feel, but I could control my own actions. "You're right, Sarah," I said, my voice clearer than it had been in a long time. "You're absolutely right. I have to tell him." After I hung up, I sat still for a few minutes. My hands were shaking. My stomach felt funny, like it was full of butterflies. But I knew I had to do it now, before I lost my courage. I thought about how to contact him. I still had his old mobile number, but we hadn't spoken in so long. Would he even answer? I also remembered he had an email address we used to use. An email felt a little less direct, a little less confrontational. It would give him time to read it, to think, before he replied. That seemed like a good idea. I found an old email from him, checking the address. Then I opened a new message. What should I write? My mind went blank for a moment. I didn't want to tell him everything in an email. That felt too impersonal for such big news. I just needed to see him, to talk to him face to face. I took a deep breath and started to type. I kept it very simple, very direct. "Hi, Alex, it's Megan. I know it's been a long time. I was hoping we could meet and talk. There's something very important I need to tell you. Please let me know if you're willing to meet. Megan." I read it over and over again. Was it too short? Too vague? Would he even reply? My finger hovered over the send button. This was it. This was the moment everything could change. I closed my eyes for a second, thought of Lily's small hand on his picture, and then I pressed send. The email was gone. Sent. Out there in the world. The message was sent. I whispered to the empty room. Now, I could only wait. My heart was pounding. I felt a strange mix of terror and relief. What? Will he say? Will he even reply? The waiting felt like the hardest part of all. The waiting was terrible. Every hour felt like a day. I checked my email constantly, my stomach twisting with nerves each time. What if he didn't reply? What if he read it and just ignored it? My mind imagined all the worst possibilities. I tried to keep busy with Lily, playing with her, reading her stories. But my thoughts kept drifting back to the sent email, hanging unanswered in cyberspace. Then, 2 days later, it happened. A new email notification popped up on my phone. My heart leaped. It was from Alex. My hands trembled as I opened it. The message was short, even shorter than mine. Megan, yes, I was surprised to hear from you. Okay, we can meet. How about the little cafe near the library on Elm Street? Thursday afternoon, around 2 p.m.? Alex. He agreed. He actually agreed to meet. I felt a wave of dizziness, a mixture of fear and a strange kind of excitement. I quickly replied, "Yes, Thursday at 2 p.m. is fine. See you then." Sarah called later that day and I told her the news. "Be brave, Megan," she said. "Just be honest. You can do this." Thursday arrived too quickly. Sarah offered to watch Lily, so I wouldn't have to worry about her during the meeting. Walking to the cafe on Elm Street, my legs felt weak. This was it. The moment I had avoided for so long was finally here. I saw him through the window before. I went inside. He was sitting at a small table in the corner, looking out the window. He looked mostly the same, maybe a little older, but his hair was still dark, and he had the same thoughtful expression I remembered. I pushed the door open, the little bell above it ringing softly. He looked up, and his eyes widened slightly, in surprise when he saw me. He stood up politely as I approached the table. "Megan," he said. His voice was quiet, maybe a little cautious. "Hi." "Hi, Alex," I managed to say, trying to keep my voice steady. "Thanks for meeting me." We sat down. There was an awkward silence for a moment. The waitress came, and we both ordered coffee, just to have something to do. My hands were shaking so much I kept them tightly clasped in my lap. After the waitress left, I knew I couldn't delay any longer. I had practiced the words in my head 100 times, but now they felt stuck in my throat. I took a deep breath, looked directly at him, and started. "Alex," I began, my voice low and trembling slightly. "Thank you for meeting me. I know this is sudden, after so long, but I have something very important to tell you." I paused, gathering all my courage. 6 months ago, I had a baby girl. Her name is Lily. I watched his face carefully. He looked confused, his eyebrows slightly furrowed. He opened his mouth to say something, but I quickly continued before I lost my nerve. "Alex," I said, my voice barely a whisper now, but clear. "She is your daughter." The world seemed to stop for a second. Alex just stared at me. His face went pale. Shock. Pure shock. He didn't speak. He didn't move. He just looked at me as if he couldn't understand the words I had said. The silence stretched on, feeling heavy and loud in the quiet cafe. Finally, he spoke. His voice was hoarse. "My daughter?" He shook his head slightly as if trying to clear it. "A baby? Lily?" He looked at me, his eyes full of questions and confusion. Why didn't you tell me, Megan? Why now?" Tears started to well up in my eyes, the tears I had held back for so long. "I was scared, Alex," I admitted, my voice thick with emotion. "I was so scared. We weren't together anymore when I found out. I didn't know what you would think, what you would do. I worried you would be angry, or that you wouldn't want her." He listened, his expression unreadable for a moment. He wasn't angry, not like I had feared. He looked down at his hands on the table, then back up at me. There was sadness in his eyes now, and maybe something else. Thoughtfulness? He was quiet for another long moment, clearly processing everything I had told him. I held my breath, waiting for his reaction, fearing the worst, but hoping for something better. Then he asked the simplest, most important question. His voice was soft. Can I see her?" Relief washed over me, so powerful it made me gasp. Tears spilled down my cheeks, but they weren't sad tears anymore. They were tears of pure, overwhelming relief. The huge weight I had carried alone for so long suddenly felt lighter. "Yes, Alex," I said, my voice choked with tears but full of certainty. "Yes, you can meet Lily." We talked a little more after that. Not about the past, not yet. Just about Lily. I told him how old she was, what she was like. He listened quietly, 1,000 emotions flickering across his face. We agreed to talk again, soon, to arrange a time for him to come and meet her properly. It wasn't a perfect, happy ending wrapped in a neat bow. The future was still uncertain. There were many things we needed to talk about, many things to figure out. But it was a beginning, an honest beginning. As I walked home later, the air felt fresher, the sun brighter. Telling the truth was one of the hardest things I had ever done. But keeping the secret, I realized now, had been much harder. Facing my fear, facing Alex, had opened a door. I didn't know exactly where it would lead, but it was a door to a possibility. A possibility for Lily to know her father, for Alex to know his daughter, and for me to share the joys and challenges of parenthood instead of hiding. Honesty, even when it feels terrifying, is important. It lets the light in. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful.